You know, special needs children are at a much higher risk for any type of harm because they are defenseless. Often, they are belittled, they are misunderstood. Sometimes, they're completely not valued, and it happens a lot more frequent than you and I are aware of.
A couple now charged with the murder of their disabled son nearly 2 years after he died. I have the disturbing details of the death of little Braden Butcher. Thanks for joining me for Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Braden Butcher was just 8 years old when his parents took him to a hospital in Tucson, Arizona with injuries. This was in August of 2022. Sheriff's deputies in Pima County say they were called to the hospital on August 12th of that year to investigate Braden's death. The sheriff's office says the circumstances were suspicious. Braden Butcher was just 8 years old, and his parents had identified him on a GoFundMe page as having autism and scoliosis and also rheumatoid arthritis. Braden's mother, Mercedes Cahoe, wrote that Braden loved Star Wars, particularly Darth Vader. About Braden's death, she wrote, "My son, Braden Butcher, who was only 8 years old, unexpectedly passed away. My son was a warrior till his last breaths. I was his 24/7 caretaker. My job was just being a stay at home mom, making sure he was happy and loved. He had autism since he was 1.5, also followed with scoliosis in his back and rheumatoid arthritis. He was and still in heaven, the happiest little man, pain free. He will always bring light and happiness into mine and his father, Josh Butcher's, and his two sisters' lives." Cahoe wrote that she was trying to raise money for funeral expenses. "Anything will help me and my husband with expenses for cremation and services for his funeral. We don't ask for anything unless your heart is moved to help me and my husband through this hard process, being able to put our son peacefully to rest." It's not clear whether a cremation ever took place, but sheriff's officials, in announcing the murder and child abuse charges filed against Mercedes Cahoe and Braden's dad, Josh Butcher, said it was determined that blunt force trauma to the head and upper body caused Braden's death. The Pima County Sheriff said the charges were the result of, quote, numerous interviews that were conducted, search warrants were executed, and medical records scrutinized. Cahoe and Butcher were indicted by a grand jury, but they are not in custody. Photos on her Facebook page show that she talked about autism. She used a frame on a photo of her with her dog, but there really aren't any photos of Braden on that social media account. I want to take a quick
Hello, my beautifuls. I hope you are well this evening. Trigger warning, we are going to be talking about Sebastian Rogers, and I want you to know we are going to be talking about a search and recovery theory. And in this theory, I blocked it out with a timeline. I plugged in the details that I believe to be true. But again, this is my humble opinion, my perspective, and no one is being accused of anything. I am simply sharing a possible theory that I personally feel could maybe have taken place. But again, it's just my theory. All right, you guys, I want to say welcome to all of you beautiful folks on the live with me. Jennifer Swain, hello, lovely, Interior Family Studio, and I call him Mr. Ifs. I want to say hello to the rocks and in the soil. Hello, lovely. Welcome to everybody. And if you are on replay, I want to humbly thank you for your replay, as well as remind you that you have control of your own buttons, and if you are triggered, back off. Give yourself a break. You can always come back at a different video, and we can congregate at that time. I totally get it. So I thought of this theory using everything you guys have shared with me. And I also want to thank you all for your beautiful support. Mr. If's Interior Family Studios just gifted 5 memberships. We have Robin Davis Duckworth, Buckcherry Lover, Elmer Woods, Scott Stupp, and Ellie Cat. Welcome everybody to our Starlights. You guys are amazing, and thank you, Mr. Ifs. When I came up with Operation Blackout Theory, it was not just based on something because it sounded like some thing, like clickbait or whatever. It's because both parents were Navy, they were in the Navy, in the military. And I want to share with you, I forgot to WD-40 the chair. I brought it up here, but I didn't use it. I have no idea what's up with my doggies. Somebody must be walking by. Sorry, guys. So, we're going to get into it pretty deep. And it's about 3 is the number. 3 is the hours that they were on the phone. 3 just consistently throughout this whole case. Within 3 minutes, this happened and so forth. And so, I thought about the 3, which is also the 3 criteria you would need for a 3-party suspect. So you would have 3 individuals. They're the only ones that even need to know anything. So all 3 of them would have to have the means, opportunity, and a motive. Now, as I work through this theory, I want you to pay close attention because at the end, after the video is over, in the comments below, not on the live, but in the comments below, I would like you to tell me, should I submit this to TBI or would I be wasting time? So think of means, opportunity, motive. Think of the blackout goals, right? Roles would have to be assigned to the 3 parties. It would have to be planned, prepped, timed, and even executed. My main focus would be the stepdad as actor 1. Actor 2 in this theory is mom. Actor 3 would be the stepdad's mother. Let's look at the stepdad's possible motives. We'll call him CP. CP in custody battle for his daughter. That is current. CP stated he would not allow his daughter in the same residence as Sebastian. A second note. Possible motive. Multiple CPS reports alleged by Sebastian. Now, none of us know if any of those reports held water. However, the real father did gain access, which he kept tight to the vest, and I fully respect, the CPS reports. His only comment regarding them was that he now understands what happened in that house. And he also stated that the county, Sumner County, alleged that they've had the CPS reports from day 1. However, when the real father, SR, tried to give them to TBI or did give them to TBI, TBI alleged they didn't have them before that. So why would the county not hand over CPS reports prior to the child that's going missing on an Amber Alert child? SR, the real father, alleged, or still alleges, CP told SR's mom, in other words, SR, the real father's mother, that Seb, meaning Sebastian, was a pedo. This is alleged by the real father. And I wonder if that wouldn't be a third motive, a possible motive, feelings of resentment and fueled hatred between CP towards Sebastian. Then I thought to myself, what would be the step grandma's possible motives? Well, mothers like to protect their son in most cases. Protecting her son CP from Sebastian's multiple allegations to CPS. Because I believe with her well-standing career in realty, as well as her family, her other son, which would be CP's brother, being in a very high-end construction site, their name means a lot. Another possible motive would be CP's ex-wife publicly alleged that CP's family conspired against her to gain custody of her blood granddaughter, which again refers back to the stepfather's daughter, who he said would not be allowed, that Sebastian would not be allowed around, including in the same residence. Third motive that's possible for this step grandma would be a feeling of resentment and burden by, unfortunately, his special needs. I feel we've all seen family video where Sebastian is ridiculed in a sense, and it's, if you've seen the videos, they're very hard to watch. They're not kind to Sebastian. I'd like to play this with you because when we look at the mother's possible motives, does her past play a part? Let's listen to what Chris had to say. This happens to be Smiley Stories World. Very lovely lady.
So I'm not I'm not dragging Seth, his mom, his sister, my wife. I'm not dragging people through the mud. So what is in the past is the past, and that really needs to die. And I'm saying that for everybody to hear, to include all parties involved with this situation. Past is a past that needs to die. Let it be.
So I began to think about that, and I'm very uncomfortable. It might just be me, but when any parent or step parent speaks of their missing child, that's a topic in this video, the entire topic, and they use the words die or death or anything like that because it's very hard to speak of those words generally for most parents with a missing child. So we should look at the mother's possible motives and skills. Now, not only does CP, oh, not only does CP, the stepmother, have skills in the Navy, but so does the mother. Now, this is a pre-recorded video I did quite a while ago, and it explains the mother's abilities that she learned in the Navy. It's not the best recording, but it's the best I've got.
So I went over to My Navy HR, which is an official website of the United States government, and I asked, what is Interior Communications Electrician, an IC? And it gives a general description. Interior Communications Electrician install and maintain repair the equipment needed for interior communication within ships and shore facilities. These communication systems include public address systems, interior telephone systems, alarm systems, engine telegraphs to communicate orders for changes in engine speed from the bridge, ship's command station to the engine room, certain kinds of ship control and equipment monitoring devices, the ship's gyro compass, the rudder position indicator, audio-visual equipment for the ship's TV entertainment systems, advanced navigation, and various other equipment. That is a lot of understanding security, including telephones, cell phones, radios. What do they do? The duties performed by ICs include maintaining and repairing interior communication systems, preparing and interpreting blueprints, wiring diagrams and sketches, installing and inspecting dry cell and storage batteries, recharging wet cell batteries, testing interior communications and gyro compass equipment, installing telephone and other communication circuits, boxes, switchboards, and bell buzzer systems, maintaining plotters and dead reckoning equipment, maintaining and operating TV systems, maintaining and repairing shipboard navigation equipment. Somebody would know, this person would definitely know how an individual could be digitally tracked. It goes on to talk about the working environment. People in the IC rating work in many different situations at sea and ashore. While most of their work is performed indoors, it may be a clean or dirty environment of a shop-like nature, and it may be in any kind of climate or temperature. ICs usually work closely with others. Most systems ICs work on is of a modern and solid-state electronic type, making the rating a very technical profession. Requirements are ASVAB, which I don't know what that means. Must have normal color perception. Security clearance required. Must be a USA citizen.
Why does she not have any security at her home with that kind of a background and then also works for Brink's security system? Let's get into this. Mom's possible motives. Mother's childhood trauma by parent triggered her to fear autistic son maturing to puberty without understanding socially acceptable private boundaries. I'm going to read that again for you. Listen close. Possible motive for the mother would be, or could be, mother's childhood trauma by parent triggered her to fear autistic son maturing to puberty without understanding socially acceptable private boundaries. Remember, CP will not allow his daughter in the home at the same time as Sebastian. Second possible motive for the mother, ultimatum from CP, the stepfather, the husband. In other words, him or my daughter and me, my family. The threat of loss of all security. Being that the mother, KP, unfortunately doesn't have a family to fall back on. She would be alone with her disabled son. None of these are excuses. They are simply possible motives. I believe a possible motive was convenience in the long run, knowing this was a long-term investment, feeling the pressure she chose herself, in my humble opinion, is a possibility of a motive over her responsibilities as a mother. Prep leading up, there really wouldn't be that much to do. This is one of the most basic theories that it's simply easy. Unfortunately, it ends horribly. First of all, leading up to this premeditated event, there would be removal and disposal of all security systems, including cameras on the property. And you might even have a stingray, which would block all the cameras in the very near vicinity of being able to record. Next, you would need to set the house to blackout, no exterior lights, because there's going to be comings and goings with cars and people, and you don't want anybody to see anything, know who's driving the car, or be able to identify who took out the garbage. You would need to pack a change of clothes for the child. You would need 3 burner phones. You would need a compass. You would need 3 pair of night vision goggles, easy to get, any hardware or any sporting goods store. Prep leading up.
Or lights on the outside of your house?
Yes, we do have lights on the outside of our house.
Did they activate that night?
They're not motion censored. We have lights, but they're not motion censored.
Were they on that night?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Were they on that night? So the lights were out the whole night?
Yes, ma'am. We don't typically turn the floodlights on.
Were there any lights outside the house on at all?
Just my little solar lights that we have in the garden.
No. In 2024, I'll walk outside right now and you look around and people have at least their porch light on. Something that makes it obvious so that if you're walking around the house, they can see. Nobody has their yard and their house all blacked out so that cameras can't see shit unless you're fucking hiding something.
And that's where I got Operation Blackout from. I never do clickbait. So the house is blacked out. We just heard it from Katie and Seth. Seth saw the video of the garbage. But I want you to listen to the mother tell the day, Sebastian's last day before he was reported missing, about how beautiful this day was, including, she even says something very strange in the very first part. Fun fact, she made breakfast. Sebastian calls family or friends to brag, as if that's unusual for a mother to make breakfast. But I'll let you listen.
Sunday, the day before he went missing, we got up and, fun fact, I made breakfast that morning. We had a good time. We were laughing. We had a good time. We were laughing. We were joking. He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag. We went and picked up our niece.
Esther,
I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that. We went to BJ's. Had a good time there. He ate a colossal popcorn. Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, you know, he's 15 and snacks. We went to the bowling alley, and then from there we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock, told him to go to bed. And he's come out of his room where he was playing, and he said, "All right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. I love you." And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise, and I was like, "I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep." And about midnight I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock I went to wake him up for school Monday morning, and that's when he wasn't here.
What was...
So, Operation Blackout begins that day in this theory. Here we go. I'm going to break it down in an actual timeline. It'll be very much aligned with what we're aware of. Everything is what I think I know, but do I know any facts? I doubt it. Let me know what your theory is. But please, watch us all the way through. Sebastian has a message for you at the very end. Just keep him in your prayers. Here we go. Operation Blackout begins. Mom made breakfast. Best day ever. Fun fact. This day then went into establishing a public alibi for most of the day, using the public and family with an outing of CP's family. This not only created a good environment, good lasting memory, but it imprinted on a lot of people that they were good parents, that this child was alive and well all day long. And we even have the Last Supper, which he got exactly what he wanted. Salmon. The last proof of life video is leaving the restaurant. Operation Blackout. Decoy. This is, once the meal is over, we move into decoy, the second part. KP, meaning the mother, leaves her phone in her car. Last meal with Sebastian at Roadhouse. KB, step-grandma, arrives in her duplicate car, which is a fact. They both have the same car, different years, same color. I say fact, but we'll say alleged. With it, in that duplicate car, she leaves burner phone 1. She switches cars, where she now has a second burner phone, leaving one burner phone behind in her car. She then waits for a cue in KP's car, the mother's car. She has switched vehicles. At 6:39 p.m., KP, the mother, and Sebastian exit Roadhouse and decoy KB with KP's car. And the burner phone and Katie's phone and Katie's car. So KB has Katie's car, Katie's phone, and the burner phone 1. Or 2, I'm sorry, 2. And she returned to Sebastian's blacked out home. She uses the burner phone for the dash cam. Here's how it works. While Sebastian is in KB's car, the stepmother's car, with KP, the mother, they're communicating by burner phone, where you can clearly hear over in Katie's car with the step-grandma, the voice of Sebastian. You'll see more in a minute. Around 7 p.m., the decoy of KP, which is the decoy KB, the step-grandma, drives into the garage of Sebastian's home, closes garage door behind her. It's pitch black. The house is a blackout. There are no cameras, and there are no witnesses of who the driver was. Around 8 o'clock p.m., KB wears the black outfit, takes out garbage to the curb with a flashlight in the dark. At 9 o'clock p.m., using KP, the mother's phone, KB, step-grandma, calls CP, stepdad's phone, to establish an alibi. This is a dash cam example. You can see where they go, which would be KB's step-grandma driving the car, allowing Sebastian to talk through the burner phone and be recorded by voice onto the dash cam. But as you can see, there's no visual. There's no proof of life. Could be pre-recorded, or it could be Sebastian talking on the burner phone with his mother. Where are they going? Well, let's talk about this real quick.
We truly do not know what's going on. Unfortunately, haven't found any video proof of him since Texas Roadhouse. The video that they showed me of him taking the trash out,
Yeah.
you can't see, so it's not a definite picture.
So wait. So when you say when the video of him taking the trash out, you can't really see. Can you explain what you actually saw in that footage then of him taking out the trash allegedly?
You see a flashlight,
And
that's about it.
And that's it.
That's it.
And what time was that at again?
You see a shadow. There, I didn't see a time link on there because it was a ring cam.
Aye. So only and that ring cam. I know you can't give us specifically the location of that ring cam, but was it nearby? Was it like that video that we saw that was like, you know, a cropped, super cropped footage from a very big picture?
They showed me the whole thing, and it's too dark.
Okay.
Too dark for me to say that that's my son. You know?
Yeah, no doubt. I would be wondering if that's actually him or not too, right? That's interesting.
You could always hope it is, but that's speculation. You know?
Right.
It's speculation.
No doubt the speculation part. Okay. So
Well, it was too dark because it was complete blackout. Operation Blackout, out of the state. Remember, we know that CP's stepdad is in a custody battle for his daughter. We also know he doesn't want to allow his daughter and Sebastian in the same residence. We also know that Sebastian alleged multiple times to CPS reports. So, in that, I figure CP needs absolute proof that he's not in the state, because he would be, in my humble opinion, the very first suspect, prime suspect. But if he's 3.5 hours away and proven to be in a different state, then he's golden, right? Let's think about it. 6:39 p.m. Everything here is alleged. These times are guesstimated. Nothing here is fact. This is my breakdown from my own opinion. 6:39 p.m. KP and Sebastian driving KB stepmother's car go to meet CP stepdad in Mississippi. CP, prime suspect, must be out of state. 9:00 p.m. CP answers call from KB, the step-grandmother, using mother's phone from Sebastian's home, connecting and establishing his alibi. 9:45 p.m. KP and Sebastian meet up with CP in planned location. CP forces Sebastian to remove his shoes, clothes, and give to his mother. 10:00 p.m. KP and CP execute Operation Blackout, aka Thud. 10:15 p.m. CPKP hide all evidence. 11:00 p.m. Kitty leaves to return to Tennessee with Sebastian's shoes, clothes, flashlight. Midnight. CP returns to his RV, says go to bed to his stepmother, or to his mother, the step-grandma, rather than actually Katie. He ends the call. His alibi is now established for the 3-hour call.
Earlier, you had stated you heard a noise in his room before you went to bed. What time was that?
Around 10 o'clock.
10 p.m. What did it sound like?
Just a thud.
A thud. You stated that you said, look, I don't care what you're doing in there, go to bed. Is that right?
I was on the couch, which is near his room, and I said, Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? And he said, no, ma'am. And I said, well, whatever you're doing in there, knock it off and go to sleep.
So you heard his voice at 10 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea what the sound actually was?
I do not know.
If he were to go out his window, what would he step on?
Mulch and bushes.
Mulch and bushes. Operation Blackout returned to base. So, Kitty gets back in to KB, the step-grandmother's vehicle, with Sebastian's belongings. She would then return back to Hendersonville, reaching there at approximately 2 a.m. She would park the step-grandmother's car near the school, which happens to be very close, and I'm going to show you a map, near a place called R.L. Warsham's General Store. She'll leave one, well, actually, I think she takes the burner phone. We're going to put takes. She takes the burner phone. She takes Sebastian's clothes. She takes Sebastian's shoes, the flashlight, a compass, and, let me add this, night goggles. At 2:10 a.m., using her Navy-trained tactical skills, remember, any degree, any climate, any terrain, KP hikes 3 miles, which is hardly anything. At the most, it would be 1 hour home, through dirt roads and small fields, entering her neighborhood through the construction site where the dogs alerted, according to CP, while she's carrying Sebastian's shoes and clothes. At approximately 3:11 a.m., KP, using the light on the burner phone, heading to her Blackout home, hiding her return from all cameras. Let's look at that footage. I believe that these two individuals, in my humble opinion, if this theory holds water, would be KP returning the mother and KB step grandma at the house. It's coming. If you listen to Nancy Grace from the construction site area, listen.
Man, and this one is getting the most attention, showing signs of activity around Sebastian's home the night he disappeared. You see 2 light sources, which we've circled to help you follow. For point of reference, the security camera was pointed toward the back of Sebastian's home in a common area. In the video, you see subject 1 with a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later, then moves out of frame. Then, subject 2 reappears and follows subject 1 off screen. It's a short time later, and it's very vague, but then you see one of the subjects moving quickly back through the common area, and that is it. I know, there's not much to see here. You certainly cannot identify anyone, but those close to the investigation tell me the mere fact that there is now evidence that someone is in the area around Sebastian's home is significant. This video shows suspicious activity in the immediate area the night Sebastian disappeared. Could one of these subjects have been Sebastian? Did he meet and leave with someone? Sebastian's father says his son would not go with a stranger.
It's up in the air for me because I don't think he would get into a vehicle with somebody unless he knew them.
And I believe that. I truly do. So in returning to base, I want you to listen to this. It's, again, Smiley Stories World, a beautiful lady.
I'd like to clarify this whole dog scent thing for once and for all. So the dog scent, everybody said, oh, the dogs didn't get a scent. Dogs didn't get. The dogs got a scent. what the dogs got and where it led to. There's a lot of misinformation as far as to the road, to the construction site, to this, to that, to this. Um, for the record, there were so many dogs used. I don't know if we actually have a true count. On the day one, there was 5 dogs automatically. We know for a fact. They brought dogs in from out of state, different counties, all over the place. Um, but of all the dogs, there was a couple that took them through a construction zone and took them over to a retention pond.
Uh-huh.
Now, the retention pond is no higher than knee deep.
Right.
They walked it and they drained it. But from there, the scent disappears. There's poof.
Right.
Poof. Mm-hmm. I believe that was Katie returning from the vehicle, the step-grandmother's vehicle, to her blacked out home in this theory. So I want you to look at the map and we'll get a closer picture of this area. It is 1.2 miles from where I believe she parked her vehicle, somewhere over here. There are no houses. It's all a wooded area. Could be a little dirt road here, anywhere in here. Now, if she did, I say her vehicle, but not really. It would be step-grandma's vehicle. And then I believe that Katie either went this route or, let's get our other marker out. If not that route, then she went around back here and came in this way. Either way, it's very short. And if you look, let me see. There we go. It's 1.2 miles if it goes this way. Easy peasy 27 minutes walking. And all she had to do with her little night goggles on is go around. If she goes this way, one place, come in here and head in. So when you look at this a little closer, Google wasn't updated, but I suspect that this is the construction zone that she had to cross right here. So that probably had the retention pond, would be my best guess. Operation Blackout, report to LE, 5:15 a.m. CP. Hold on, let me switch back to my cursor. 5:15 a.m. CP goes to work. Does not start until 7 a.m. normally. 6:30 a.m. KB, meaning step-grandma, hides in KP, the mother's car, in the garage. The mother drives to the school claiming to search for Sebastian. She drops off step-grandma at her car right near the school. 6:40 a.m. KP calls CP to queue up the three-way call to the sheriff's office in Tennessee. Step-grandma and mom return to Sebastian's home in their own vehicles, none the wiser. 7 a.m. SR, the father, is notified by the stepfather of Sebastian missing. 7:30 a.m. Real father, SR, arrives at Sebastian's home. He has made it clear. Not only was a mother there, but so was the step-grandmother, are both there, speaking with LE. Operation Blackout, guard location. 1 p.m. CP arrives at Sebastian's home. 2 o'clock p.m. approximately, CP leaves for the day, or many, many, many hours, claiming he is required to move his RV back in Mississippi, returning to the scene of the crime, in my opinion, to assure all is undiscovered. Operation Blackout, damage control. 8 days after Sebastian was reported missing, Mom, KP, and Stepdad, CP, gave an interview. Many people are asking if those are defensive wounds on CP's arms and hands. As you can see, this is his right arm 8 days later. This is his left arm. I'll let you be the judge if you feel these could be defensive, either bites or fingernail digging marks. If somebody came up and put you in a chokehold or put their hands around your neck, would these be similar marks that you may leave in defense of your life? Is this really the perfect crime? Is there a perfect crime?
No, I mean this. So here's something that's very unique. And I mean we talk about it whenever they come and they talk to us or they call us on the phone. This is a case that literally has got all of these agencies stumped. Okay, and I'm saying this very openly as far as, playing devil's advocate. Let's say one of us was suspected of foul play. Let's say something, right?
Right.
There's no way that we would outdupe all these agencies. There's no way. However, this 15-year-old boy has managed to outdupe everybody. Call him Houdini. He always wanted to be a ninja, and we kept goofing around. Well, he has officially done it because poof, nothing. And it's, the cops have told us this is a case that will go down as a researched study case where they're asking the questions and looking for answers, and literally nothing. Everything they try to come up with, blank.
Yeah.
Well, then I ask you, Operation Blackout, evade. A couple weeks after Sebastian was reported missing, I'm sorry, that should say KB, the step-grandmother, accompanied her husband to Alaska on a business trip allegedly. I ask you, was this a planned trip or an excuse to leave the scene? I found this interesting. This lady has been working cold cases forever. She actually runs the Cold Case Foundation. Nancy Grace was interviewing her. Let's listen to her thoughts.
I want to hear your analysis.
Here's my problem. Their statements. You've got inconsistencies. As soon as somebody changes their story, mom has said different things. Now you've got a stepdad that looks like he's co-signing with everything that she says, but he allegedly wasn't there. So how can he agree with anything that she's saying? You've got mom saying she heard a thud. I don't like that word. That sounds like a body hitting the floor. When people use the word thud, that's not sounded like he hit the wall, sounded like something
No, it's
dropped.
never a good thing. It's usually preceded by an adjective, sickening, a sickening thud.
Right. And Nancy, you've got other things. You've got mom saying he went to the end of the driveway to put out the trash. And then you've got law enforcement searching a landfill. They're searching lakes. They're searching ponds. If you're watching and paying attention to law enforcement, it does not seem to me that they are looking to recover a child alive. They are searching for remains. You and I both know, and Joe Scott knows, when a child goes missing, the first 3 hours are critical. We're at 6 weeks. 6 weeks that this child has not been seen or heard from.
Okay,
6
hold on.
weeks.
Why are you saying, Cheryl McCollum, that you believe they don't expect to find Sebastian alive based on their actions? I'm talking about LA law enforcement.
They're searches. They're searching landfills, lakes, ponds. That is not indicative of somebody that is alive. And again, you've got a child that has gone 6 weeks without his medicine, 6 weeks without food that we know of. He didn't have a source, no shoes. And mama herself says, oh, a flashlight's missing. Again, that's such an odd thing for her to know is missing until they show her video that looks like a flashlight. And then the stepdad says, well, we were sure hoping it was, but we're sad to report it wasn't a flashlight. Well, if you've got two flashlights out there, why are you glad that it's not that? That to me would signify that somebody was out there in the wee hours of the morning with two flashlights, meaning two separate people, the night your child went missing. I mean, it's just odd.
What
They
do you
claim they,
make of a 3-hour conversation held
yeah,
between Mrs. Proudfoot and Mr. Proudfoot the night Sebastian disappears?
the 3 hour phone call bothers me because, again, that's a long time to be on the phone. And, you're hearing your son supposedly, he's answering you supposedly during that time, but you don't go check on him at all. Did somebody leave their phone just on while they went and did something else? I don't know. But I agree with Joe Scott. The electronics are going to tell the story. When his mama first entertained the idea that somebody had him, what did she base that on? His phone's not missing. He didn't take shoes, didn't take clothes, didn't take money, nothing on his cell phone, nothing on his computer says that he's been talking to anybody. I mean, she's entertaining something that we have no facts for.
Well,
We
I'm
have no evidence.
concerned about uh, and you're right. Whenever I hear inconsistent statements, as I've discussed many, many times in front of juries, it's one thing to add or embellish your original statement because maybe you weren't asked the right questions first time around. Maybe you remembered something in addition, triggered by questions. But when you change your story, that's a problem. To Joe Scott Morgan joining us.
When you change your story, that's a problem. Finding Sebastian is also a problem, and finding the answers is a big problem. Sebastian has not been found yet. Ellie has stated there is no evidence of foul play. Would they find Sebastian if they looked to Mississippi? Make sure you share his photo. His story has yet to be shared. I ask you to support him. Give him your heart. Hang up flyers. Do what you can to bring awareness. He needs all of us. All of us. Sebastian, strong. And it's always 3. So I'm going to come over to Topside. I just wanted to share with you my theory. Feel free to discuss your own theory. I've got a little bit of time yet. Aw, thank you, Tiffany Crockett. Crystal says, sister at Sheriff's... Hold on a minute. Let me... Sorry about that. Crystal says, sister at Sheriff Office does not help in Tennessee. That's what the rumor is. I've heard that. Diana Bond, they made a 3-way call to back each other up. I agree. Wiss says the, quote, evidence of the 3-hour call is questionable and is no alibi, in my opinion. Hi, Carolyn Miller. You says, so, was Katie Proudfoot dating the one and same young, handsome cop who is also speaking on the case? He looks her type. I don't know. I've never heard that before. That's interesting, but I haven't heard that. Judy Clayton says, yes, I believe he's in Mississippi. I had a feeling from the start that's where he was. Marcia G says, I'm definitely going to rewatch this and I'm going to share it. Thank you. And at least in comments on other platforms, that's the best I can do. Thank you, Marcia. Dreamweaver 2 says, if I was married to CPA and the way he's so violent and threatening, I would be quiet too. That's why she doesn't say anything anymore. KP is probably scared to death, in my humble opinion. Aw, thank you guys for sharing all the green hearts for Sebastian. Lexi and Lisa, thank you guys. Thank you, Dreamweaver. Says beautiful video, Mama. Awesome. I hope I'm wrong. I really, really pray I am wrong. That's what I'm hoping. Darlene Wolf says, I think your theory is correct. Die Hard Pats fan says, great work, Mama D. Thank you, guys. I really hope I'm wrong. Keelan Miller, and why wouldn't Katie have a relationship with him? She knows Melissa has Katie met Melissa at work before at a cop shop. I don't know. I have no proof that Melissa works for a police department at all. I tried to research and it kept showing up that she actually worked for Adidas, but I could be wrong. I have been in the past, so. Crystal, I don't believe they do own a landfill. Thank you, Carolyn Miller. Sorry, y'all, I'm coughing. Carolyn Miller says, you brought out many fine points. Thank you, lovely. Family does own a construction company, says Lisa. Yes. Diana Kelly says, I bet you're right. Tiffany Crockett says, think KP is a ringleader. Just saying. Ruby Slippers, KP looks very sick and not talking about crying. She looks very unwell physically, in my opinion. Hey, Kimmy, welcome back. You say you were on Target, girl. Did you listen to Delilah? No, somebody will have to send me a link. I don't really understand where she is, but I do want to hear her. A lot of people say I sound like her. Boogie Green Street. Hello, lovely. You say criminals always use and choose a number 3 when describing time frames, minutes, hours, miles, etc. And I think they stuck to it. Like it's a 3-hour drive, 3-hour call, 3-minute look around the house. Went to bed at 9, which is 3 times 3. I mean, it's 8 at 6, which is 2 times 3. I'm just saying it's a lot of threes. Shannon Back says this is such a plausible theory. The only thing that I can't understand is the burner phones. They still bounce off nearest tower and can be tracked to purchasers' walkie-talkies. Well, I don't know exactly, but with Katie's Navy skills, I bet she figured out how to make sure that it doesn't get tracked. Just saying. She knows how to work on chips and navigation, telephone systems. Very important things. She also installs security systems. Everybody says I sound like Delilah. Am I even saying her name right? 3:30, the lights. Right, Laura D. Diehard Passman says, if the sheriff has to contact the other agencies to look further, that is a concern, as it has been said that CP has a good relationship with the sheriff. That's true. That would be a problem. I don't know if it's true if he has a good relationship with the sheriff, but if he does, that would be true, that would be very concerning, because we do have Sumner County not passing on the CPS reports alleged the real father, right, to TBI. Emily Bicker, hello and welcome back. You say CP once gave the time it took to drive from work to home. Wasn't 3.5 hours. It was precisely 3 hours and 37 minutes. Boom. I really do sound like Delilah. Is it Delilah or Delia? Y'all love her? Well, that's good if I sound like her. I really do. Y'all are really saying I do. I mean, everybody's saying that. She's great and has a great radio show. That's cool. Interior Family says 999 area code and zip code. Interesting pattern. Diana Bond says, I think that the sheriff and CP are too tight. He looks like he is covering for the Proud Beats. Judy Clayton says, I believe you've hit it right. I believe you got it down pat. What's at pretty much what's happened. I didn't quite catch that, but thank you, Judy, love. Marsha G. Buckham, thank you for your insight. Very professionally done. Thank you. Now remember, after the video, put in the comments below if you feel that this is worthy of sharing with TBI or not. Of course, I would edit out all our chit-chat at the end here, so it was just business, right? But I could be wrong, y'all. Obviously, Dr. Seuss let us all remember CP said he was close with his neighbors too. Carolyn Miller says exactly. It said Chris's sister Melissa works in the clerk's office. A lot of people believe that. Could be true. Cindy Townsend says Katie knows all kinds of security, but they both lied about their security, said it wasn't on, and she installs security system for a living. Lori Stewart says, I love Delilah, been listening to her for many years. Linda Burgell says, Delilah, just Google her. She comes up. All right, I will, I promise. Oh, thank you, Jennifer Swain. I'm going to heart you and give you a thumbs up. Thank you for that huge snooper chat of $50. Thank you, lovely. Prayers for sweet Sebastian. I don't believe his mom and stepdad. Neither do I. 3 places, BJ's, bowling, and dinner. Laura Dean. Or I'm sorry, Laura D. Thank you. Darling Wolf says, I heard, if I'm not mistaken, he's besties with the sheriff. A lot of people say that. I don't know if it's true, but if it is, that explains a lot. Patricia Staton says, anybody's involved with the woman to go down to, I still think she did it to that boy and her husband helped. You're not alone. A lot of people have suspicion. Dreamweaver 2 says, you know, when you put up the sheriff's picture, he sort of favors CP. Maybe related. Wouldn't that be crazy? Crystal says, yes, put this in a video to share out. Great theories. Thank you, hon. I hope it's not true. Cindy Townsend says, Katie knows security so well, however, can't tell you where her son went or check neighbor camera. Wild Man's Mom, welcome back. You says, yes, go for it. Might make them think of cams on routes of travel. That's what I was wondering. New Look, 3095. Love your Sue's voice. Tell stories. Interesting hearing you. Thank you, lovely. Emily Vicker says, does TBI have friendly links with CP? I'm concerned anyone with connections with CP would just dismiss it automatically. Kimmy says, I love the picture of Seth and his son smiling. Their teeth are the same. JC World of Wonders, never know what's next. I hope they buckle up. It's a long ride. Whew, I know. Joan says, I thought grandparents left 4 days after for Alaska. Something like that. Dr. Seuss, it's chat's flying, so I'm going to try to keep up, you guys. I can't catch it all. Dr. Seuss, I don't know if it's true how close they are to LE. CP said that about the neighbors. Neighbors say different. That's true, too. Karen Killaran says, yes, really great points. Did you know Nina filed for temporary custody order in January soon after Faith returned from CP? At Christmas time. Y'all, I feel like something happened in the house at Christmas time. And it could have been that one of the children or both did not understand social boundaries, if you get my understanding. That could have triggered everybody because of the mother's childhood trauma that she was put through. And that could have been the starting point for Operation Blackout planning. Boogie Green says, you're right, the planning that went into this has to be obvious to investigators. Katie works for Brinks and is not using the product when she installs Inside and Out in Sebastian's room. Cindy Townsend says, Katie and Chris are $1 million in debt. I wonder if she would pay alimony to Chris in June. I don't know. I have no idea. Crystal says, we don't want to be right. Whew, that's true. It's not our burden to bear. That's right. Bella Windshield, Kitty and Chris have security videos now? Well, on the RB. Sassy says, RD True Crime, did you happen to look into the old archery place that's no longer open, supposedly not far from Sebastian's home? Huh. No, I didn't. I'll have to check that. T. Harrison, 004, says if KP was studying, she would have lights on. That is true. Interior Families, thank you so much for the $5 snooper chat. Thank you. My pattern speaks like this. 907 is the AK area code, and certain zip codes are AK is 997. Hope this helps. Thank you, lovely. I greatly appreciate you always giving all you can. Even when you can't give, you give your time. I thank you. Boogie Green Street says she is not representing Brinks very well. Ah, that's beautiful, Crystal. All kinds of beautiful hearts. Diana Kelly asked, why didn't Seth then ever get him full time then? I don't know. I mean, it took a while for Seth. It sounds like he had to get a lawyer. I don't know. To even get the CPS reports. And I could be wrong on that. But that's what I think at this time. Till somebody tells me different. Carolyn Miller says Nina actually has quite the docket in court records. Boogie Green Street, where the flashlight bar from the house? I'm not sure. And I wonder if it's not a phone. The burner phones. Why have a flashlight? T. Harris 004 says, fun fact, I made breakfast that morning. Then she laughs. Then she looks at CP to confirm if she picked up their niece. Why would she look at CP if he wasn't there? Excellent question. Crystal, it's free. I worked for our cable company. It's the same free for employees. What's free, hon? Let me know, Crystal. I feel this plan started in December, Mama D. I agree with you, darling wolf. I think it happened something between Sebastian and Faith in the house at Christmas. And Margaret says Chris gave Katie a choice, me or Sebastian, and she chose Chris. I believe it was more between this. It's either Faith or Sebastian. Truth Press says Sebastian stayed with Seth at Christmas when Faith visited in December. Okay, well, that's true. So we can let go my misconception, because I do remember that now that Truth for Us shared. So it wasn't something at Christmas. Had it been something prior to Christmas, I'm not sure. Interior Family Studio, Mr. If says, love you all to the moon and back. Karen Killeran says something must have happened at Christmas time. Well, it must not have happened with Sebastian and Faith because we do know they were separate, right? Because I remember Seth saying he had Sebastian so Faith could come home. So it happened prior to Christmas, in my humble opinion. Hey, Ruby Slippers, thank you for that $5 snooper chat, lovely. Carolyn Miller says Sebastian was at Seth's for Christmas. Faith could have been assaulted by stepmom and dad. Whew. Carrie W. As asking, does KB, meaning step-grandma, have cameras to show her car at home the night of the 25th? Oh, I would love to know that. Marcia G. says, please share TBI. Hopefully they will listen. Okay, so we have two votes to share with TBI. JC World of Wanderers, never know what's next. You need to get a full DUI guy on here. DUI guy? I don't know what that means, lovely. Bella Wempill, Sebastian wasn't at Christmas vacation. He was with Seth. Yep, we cleared that up. Bogey Green Street says cameras would be free because she works for Brinks. That's why this is so shady. Thank you, Bogey. And boom, you get a huge gold star. Crystal says, yep, I just looked it up. Employees pay a very small fee for cameras, then get the monitoring for free. You guys are right. Kimmy also says, did you hear that Sebastian was in contact with Katie's mom the day he went missing? Allegedly. I did not hear that. Crazy Bunch 005. Nina said in interview that she spoke to Seth. No SA accused. Okay, I wonder free or special price. Okay. Wes Kraft says wouldn't hurt to send the info to TBI. Best I can hope for is they put him in the hospital or a home somewhere and that he is alive. Thank you, West. Lori Stewart. No, Kimmy. I didn't know that. All right, my lovely Luz. I'm about to jump up here. I want to say thank you for everything that you have supported the channel with, for all the work that you're doing for Sebastian, whether it's my channel, whoever's channel, Facebook, doesn't matter. Keep this child's name out there, 15-year-old. This is Sebastian Rogers. He is still missing. I don't know who that is, but I can't take it right now. But I want you to know, I appreciate you guys for fighting for Sebastian. We must keep him in our hearts and out there. I thank you so much for tuning in. I put a great deal of work into this. I'll listen to for a few days to see what you guys think, if I should share it with TBI or not. Please make sure and leave it down in the comments what your thoughts are, or keep your theories shorter so I can read them all, because we do get hundreds of comments every day, and you and I both know I can't always keep up. Oh, thank you, Lori Stewart, for gifting a membership. We have a new Starlight. Darling Whoop, welcome back, lovely. And thank you so incredibly much, Lori Stewart. Thank you, all my supporters. And again, thank you for being there for Sebastian Rogers. I want to get back over here. Let's see. Right here. I'm going to end with our song. This is my song from my heart, written by Brandon Maddox. It's called Time Will Tell on You. Look him up. Give him some love. It's dedicated to our beautiful Sebastian Rogers.
You can tell yourself and all our friends I was wrong and you were right. But your sins that happened in the dark will come out in the light. I'm not gonna waste my breath, I won't put up a fight. 'Cause the days are gonna whisper and the months are gonna talk until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell, time will tell on you. When a train whistles far away, and when the cold wind blows, when the lightning in your eyes reveals the darkness in your soul, the world will be reminded of what it already knows. 'Cause the days are gonna whisper and the months are gonna talk until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell, time will tell on you. Slowly as the seasons change, you feel like every finger points at you, 'cause you're to blame. And the days are gonna whisper, and the months are gonna talk, until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell. Time